you are being lied to. What if I told you that almost everything you knew about pickleball is causing you to lose more points than you should be? You're not losing because you're not athletic enough or you're not skilled enough. No, in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 pickleball myths that we're going to debunk right now so that you can start winning more points, more matches, and more medals. What's up, my pickleball team? I am Troy Aiken, and in today's video, we're gonna go over 5 myths that are harming our game and not being helpful. And what we're gonna do is not only are we gonna talk about the old school strategies, but we're gonna talk about the new school 2025, 2026 ways that you should be hitting the ball, that you should be playing, that you should be dictating the points so we can dominate on the court. Let's get into myth number 1 right now. Myth number 1 is definitely my favorite to debunk. It's serving just to get the point started. Just make the ball in and get the rally going. No, we are going to start by attacking that serve. Even if we miss 1 or 2, that is okay. If we start missing 3, 4, 5, 6, I want us to bring it down a little bit. But I want you to start being aggressive with your serve to set you and your partner up for a better third shot. We're not going to hit any aces on our serve. We're not trying to win the point, but what we are trying to do is set ourselves up for an easy drive, an easy drop, whatever it is to help us get into the kitchen. So instead of just making a serve here, see how that's high, that's shallow in the court. I want us to aim deep into the court with some heavy spin, some heavy driving through that ball. Just as if we were going to attack a driving forehand, we're going to give everything we have into our serve here. I've got a couple of serve videos that will help you take your power from 0 to hero if you want to check those out as well. But long story short here is we are going to get in our low athletic base. You'll love to hear me say that. And we're going to attack this serve. That is deep into the court. It is putting pressure onto our opponents immediately. So instead of just waiting for an aggressive return back from them and we're already on the defense, we want to maybe cheat a little bit forward and be ready for a third shot drop so that we can move in and start dictating the points right away. Myth number 2 that we're going to debunk is staying back gives you more time so that you can make more balls. I like to say that it is impossible, 100% impossible to win points from staying back at the baseline. So we have to figure out a way how to get up to the kitchen. So even though staying back, yes, it gives us more time to deal with the ball, it actually makes it more difficult for us to win points eventually. So as we hit a ball, we want to start working our way forward, even if it's 1 step at a time, if it's multiple steps at a time. But staying back really is detrimental to you and your partner, especially if your partner gets in and you stay back, then you're the weak link. So instead of staying back, what I want us to focus on is being able to take balls out of the air in front of us in the transition zone. The transition zone is a hard thing to master, but with practice and with effort, we're able to take these balls here, reset into the kitchen, 1 step forward, reset into the kitchen until we get ourselves up to the kitchen. So as you can see, it took me a couple shots to get up to the kitchen. So instead of playing defense at the baseline for 4, 5, 6 shots, I want you to play defense through the transition zone until you get up to the kitchen, you get that high ball and you can put it away. That's how we turn defense into offense. Not by staying back at the kitchen, but by slowly and efficiently working our way up to the kitchen. And to add on to this myth is I don't want you just sprinting up to the kitchen for no reason. I want you to make sure that you're hitting that effective third shot drop and getting in. And before your opponent's about to hit that ball, I want a split step. So I'm going to hit a drop, I'm going to split step and be ready in this transition zone. And hopefully I can get up on the next ball. Even if you watch the pros, you'll see it takes them 2, 3 shots before they get up to the kitchen. Unless they hit that perfect drop and they're sprinting up, it's going to take you a couple shots. So I like you playing defense on your way up to the kitchen. All right, if you just work on those 2 myths alone, it's going to make getting up to the kitchen with a deep serve and good transition play so much easier. And I'm telling you, once you get up to the kitchen, the game is easy. And I also want to let you know that I teach all of this in my Troy Aiken Practical Pickleball Guide that helps take you from a 0 to hero. That course is coming out soon. If you want to get notices for that, go ahead and give me your email and I'll send you some information on when that course is coming out and how you can sign sign up for it. Let's talk about myth number 3. The harder you can hit the ball, the better. Pickleball is a great balance of finesse and power. So you are going to need power, you are going to need to hit it hard. But there's a big saying that I like to say, placement over power. And I like to say, you can hit the ball as hard as you want, as long as you're keeping that ball low and finding feet. But trying to go for these uncontrolled winners or hitting the ball as hard as you can so it's flying out, or you hit the ball really hard at them and it comes back at you really fast that you don't have time to react for it. So we really want to work on that placement over power. So hitting it efficiently and effectively over as hard as we can. I know a lot of times that ball will sit up or it'll feel slow and you just want to drive through your opponent and hit it as hard as you can, but I want you to start thinking about spots on the court that we want to attack. My number one rule is always find their feet. If you can figure out how to get that ball to dip and find their feet, that's what I'm looking for. The second thing would be to hit the open spots. You'll see when you have two people up at the court, we want to find lines and down the middle, not hitting it right at them. That is sometimes a strategy as well. The third thing I want you to consider on this, finding spots, is try and find that chicken arm, right? A lot of times people will sit backhand defensively and it's hard for them to switch all the way over to their forehand. So if you can put them in that awkward spot, you're gonna get a pop-up on that next ball. So that's where I say placement over power, and hitting it in the right spot will give you those pop-ups. Then you can hit it as hard as you can and put the ball away. So see how we had a good drop shot, a good dink with my imaginary friend here. We get a pop-up, we put that ball away. We were placement, placement, power. All right, myth number 4. Hit it to the open court. Hit it where they ain't. Unfortunately, it's a pretty small court, and when you have two big human beings on it, that open court covers pretty quickly. So instead of hitting that open court that, hey, maybe they're even baiting you to hit it into it, and as soon as you go to hit it there, they close it because it's such a small court. So I want us to focus on hitting those spots again, and hitting feet is the best way to go. So let's say instead of trying to hit this open court here, where I may make errors because I'm trying to hit that precise, accurate spot here, I want us to find that lowness. So still go for the open court, but we gotta keep that ball low so that we can get a pop-up to have that easier put away on the next ball. The other thing I want to talk about, and we did talk about this in myth 3, is finding spots on their bodies, such as their feet, such as their chicken arm, such as a lob, or something unique to mix things up. So instead of finding that open court, okay, I've driven it down the middle a couple of times here, they're starting to cheat that way. I want to go attack that right hip and that right shoulder. So instead of this ball going down that middle of the court, I'm going to go a little bit more into their body, put them into an awkward position. And again, this is where I like the placement over power, the patience to earn that pop-up. So maybe we have hit a couple winners down the middle, but now we're going to attack a different spot, different result, and we'll put the next ball away. All right, team, we're crushing it. We're moving into 2026 pickleball here, and I love it. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are getting value out of this. I am creating so many more videos. Let's talk about myth number 5. That is, you are responsible for your half of the court. Absolutely not true. Like I said earlier, it is a small court, and if you've watched Ben Johns or some of these professional matches, you'll see that one player can take 70-80% of the court if you want. While I think if you're playing rec or you're growing and trying to get better, that you should play the right ball and take your proper balls, your half of the court, within reason. Why I say within reason is because if I'm playing the forehand side over here, I can cover this 60% of the court, and I'd rather this forehand be dinking this ball or attacking this ball than somebody's backhand. I hate to say it, but generally people's backhands are weaker than their forehands, so let's have the forehand take it. The other reason would be, let's say you're playing with a stronger player. Maybe it's better, if you're seriously trying to win this game, to have the better player take that 1 extra ball, 2 extra balls. It's kind of in that 50-50 range. The other reason why you should be able to move is if I hit a ball cross court over here, my partner needs to cover that line over there and I need to cover that middle. So this middle boundary is really non-existent here. I got to cover this middle. See how I'm all the way over here? And same thing, if this ball goes over here, I'm responsible for covering the line and my partner over there is responsible for covering this middle. See, I've got this line covered here. I can only cover here. So I need my partner to cheat over that middle. And lastly is if the point gets chaotic and I get pulled way over here for a ball, well, my partner is responsible for covering the rest of the court, 100% of the court. So there are times when it's not going to be that 50-50 breakdown. If you're playing a rec game, I think you should be considerate of who you're playing with, let them have the balls. But if you're trying to win this match, whether it is serious rec or a tournament play, then really it should be a give and take of who's taking those middle balls. All right, I got to give you a bonus myth because I appreciate you guys sticking around for this. This is one of my favorite myths I hear all the time from my tennis days to my pickleball days of you should move with your partner. You and your partner should be on a 6-foot rope, staying together, moving together. Let's bust that myth wide open. You should be moving with the ball. What does that mean? So if I hit this ball cross court over here, like I just said, I'm responsible for that middle ball. My partner is responsible for the line here. So in this situation, we actually are moving together, but we're moving together because we're following the ball. Same thing, we go down here. I'm going to move to follow the ball. My partner is going to come over here. So we are moving on a rope. But let's talk about when we're not moving on a rope. One of those examples is a middle dink here. We're both going to crash middle here. We do not want to get beat down the middle. It's going to be really hard for them to hit a winner down the line here. I can either get it or I have a third teammate called out of bounds. The second thing of where I want to not move on a rope is sometimes my partner may hit a dink a little bit high over here and I'm going to move back a little bit to give myself that little bit of space. So my partner is up because he's a little bit more protected. Secret pro tip, you should never speed up cross court, always speed up down the line here. So let's say a dink gets left up in front of me. I'm going to be protective here. My partner's going to stay strong on the kitchen, hoping I hit a good reset and get back up to the kitchen. So the big takeaway from this myth is I want you to move with the ball. If you see that they're probably going to pop up the ball, then I want you to be ready to attack. You see they're coming down, I want your paddle to be low. So our paddle moves with the ball, our feet moves with the ball, everything moves with the ball, not necessarily our partner. Okay, great work today, team. That is a lot of myths we just debunked. I know it's a lot to work on. Go ahead and just take one step at a time, one day at a time, and I want you to work on that in your rec play. And again, I really appreciate you guys following along this journey. I've got a ton of content coming out, so please hit that subscribe button. Be ready for my course to come out in a little bit where we work on everything. I spent thousands of hours editing, filming in the blazing hot sunshine, so appreciate your support. I will see you guys in the next video.